Okay, now we're going to talk about wool grades. The wool grades go from fine, medium, coarse, and very coarse. And then you have your primitives, which are a dual coat and a little bit on the special side, so we'll talk about those too. So let's first look at the fine grade fibers. Fine grade fibers are 14 to 22 microns. 14 to 22 microns, and some of the examples might be Merino, Rambouillet, Polworth, Cormo, Targhee, breeds like that. There's so many breeds in the world that it would be best if you Google it, and like for instance you would Google Merino micron size or Rambouillet micron size, and that way you'll get a range of microns. So these are within the range of the fine grade fibers, and you're going to see later on how important it is to know your fiber grades to be able to scour successfully. Okay, so the first one we have here, this is a Charlet Merino. Can you see all the little waves in it? But I want you to take a closer look, and can you see those teeny tiny crimps in there? Oh my gosh, this is so fine. So one thing that you can look at to look at micron size or fineness is the crimp. The smaller the crimp, usually the finer the fiber. And sometimes the finer the crimp, the more lanolin it has, and we'll show you also how to deal with that. So this is the Charlet Merino. The next one I have is also a Merino, but you can see that the crimp is a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. Can you see those together, how the crimp starts to open up a little bit, though it's still very fine. It's a little bit, the micron size is probably a little bit larger than this micron size. And another interesting thing about this fiber is because it's so black at the tips, this is from Australia, and Australia has this greasy, dirty dirt that sometimes it's hard to get out, but you can't. So this is a very fine merino. So this would be a fine grade fiber. The next fine grade fiber, this is a Cormo. And can you see the crimp open up even more? So let's look at it next to that merino. See the difference? Opening up more. The height of the crimp is a little bit higher. These type of wools, like I said before, technically have a little bit more lanolin, but look at all the surface area. If you stretch out, if you take a very crimpy, anything, even if it's a wire, if you stretch it out, you're going to have a lot more surface area than on a fiber that doesn't have a lot of crimp. But because there's such nice crimp in this, it's going to make a beautiful lofty yarn. You want to put a lot of twist in it because there's a lot of crimps. So that is a Cormo, and this is what it looks like scoured up. Okay, this, remember, this staple is a year's growth of wool. This was probably not covered because the tips are a little bit dirty and dark, but you also have to remember that these tips have been exposed to the sun, wind, rain, rubbing up against bushes for a full year. Sometimes the tips may be a little discolored, but it's not a big deal. That is what it is. But this came out really, oh my gosh, this came out really clean. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this in the course. That is so beautiful. Okay, so that is your Cormo. Again, that's a fine grade. It's between 17 and 23 microns. Because it falls out of the range of the fine fiber, but it's also in the range, you want to scour it as if it were a fine grade fiber. All right, the next one I have to show you is a standard merino, and the crimp is even bigger. So let's look at it next to the Cormo. You see the crimp opening up even more. So it's probably a little bit higher grade micron than the Cormo because it's kind of cluing me in the size of the crimp. And this is what this looks like scoured. This came out super white, super bright, Beautiful, lofty. I mean, once you take that lanolin off, it just explodes with loft. It's beautiful. I'm going to also show you, not only am I going to show you how to scour wool based on the grades, but I'm also going to show you how to prep based on the grades. That's very important. Okay, so we have our merino, we have our cormo, and we have, this is a very fine merino. Actually on the package it says it was 13 microns, so that's beautiful. This may even be a 12. This is so tiny. So you have different ranges of your fine grade fibers, but they all fall within the fine grade fiber range of scouring. Okay, let's get into the medium grade wools. The medium grade wools are 23 to 31 microns. Some of the medium grades may be Columbia, Corriedale, Montadale, or Southdown. Anything in the range of 23 to 31 microns. So your classic medium grade wool would be Corriedale. This Corriedale is so fantastic. I absolutely love Corriedale. See how blocky they are? So this is a year's worth of growth, but take a look at that crimp. It's higher, it's wider, so the velocity is larger, the amplitude is higher. So the amplitude is how high the crimp is, and the velocity is actually a little bit longer, so there's more space in between each hump. But because this is so high, this creates the most beautiful lofty prep, which makes a lofty yarn. And I will show you the best way to prep this to retain that beautiful loftiness. So a Corriedale is 25 to 31 microns. It is perfectly a medium wool. And here is some scoured. Look at that beautiful crimp, and look at the shine, and this is just so beautiful. I absolutely love this. I will also teach you how to retain this structure if that's what you want to do in relation to how you want to prep it. All right, so that is Corriedale. I wanted to show you this kind of a special breed. This one is a Cormo Leicester cross. Look at that beautiful crimp. So it's very similar to the Corriedale, really. It might be just a little bit more open. But the Cormo, the crimp got larger because of the long wool, but it retained its super softness. So I'm thinking this is actually a nice medium grade, even though I don't know the micron, but I'm going to take into account the fine grade blended with a long wool, which is a coarse wool. And that's what we get. And here it is scoured. Oh my gosh, look at how white that got. I mean, the tips are barely even stained. Isn't that beautiful? That is really so pretty. And then this one I made into a comb top. And I will show you how to do that as well. So here we have some two very good representations of your medium grade wool. I'll show you the best soap to use, the best way to scour it, and the best prep to get the most out of this amazingly beautiful wool. Next are the coarse grade wools, 31 to 36 microns. These are often considered your long wools. And some examples of the coarse grade wool would be a Romney, a Border Leicester, or perhaps a Lincoln. So I have a Lincoln here. I have a Lincoln that I received from somebody, and it was the stinkiest, dirtiest wool. Oh my gosh, so stinky. And I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can get these tips clean. Look how dirty that is, right? Look how dirty that is. So I scoured it, and here is the result. I had no clue that it had those little gray tips. That beautiful, beautiful Lovely wool. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's going to be so amazing and so simple. Wouldn't this be like the most amazing Santa beard or doll hair or lock spinning? Gosh, anything. But look at the curl. So we're going from a crimp that's in your fine grade and your medium grades. Now your coarse grades have more of a curl because it opens up more, has more luster. These also dye very well because that nice sheen creates a beautiful, beautiful dye. All right, your next coarse grade would be, or might be, a Wensleydale. And a Wensleydale is 30 to 36 microns, so it falls perfectly in the range of a coarse grade fiber. Again, these are like little curls. Big waves, right? Big waves. Look at the luster on that. And this is dirty, but can you see the luster on the dirty fiber? That's really, really pretty. Okay, so here it is scoured. Absolutely beautiful. I'll teach you how to do that. Again, easy, easy, easy. Using my tried and true and highly researched ways that I do it. All right, so there's your coarse grade wools. All right, next is your very coarse grade wool. So anything over 36 microns in your very coarse grade wool. So what you're going to see in your coarse grade wools is the microns big, it's thick, it's hardy, it takes a beating. These are mostly your rug yarns because it can take a lot of underfoot action without being destroyed. This is a Drysdale. Now, what's the first thing you see when you look at this very coarse? You don't see any crimp, no crimp whatsoever. You see maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 big waves. I mean, look at that. Look how long that is. Can you imagine this sheep? I mean, lovely. This is from Beersheba in Australia, and you have to go look at the sheep. It's really stunning. This is 1 year of growth. Look at that. So let me show you what this looks like scoured. This is the scoured. I mean, look how white that got. Even the weathered tips got pretty darn clean, pretty darn clean. And Beersheba has a video on YouTube on how to spin this. This would be excellent for a warp in weaving or again for rug yarn. So this is your very coarse grade wools. This is one of the breeds, which is the Drysdale. So you will scour it accordingly, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know about that in my course. All right, and the last grade would be your primitive dual coats. They are a primitive sheep that have 2 grades of coats actually. There's a downy underlayer and a coarser top layer. So the first one we're going to look at is called caracal or caracal. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it correctly. These are actually grown in Michigan by Pine Lake Farms, and they're absolutely beautiful. So can you see the crimp in that undercoat? Look at that little crimp. So cute. So the undercoat is probably about 25, 28, and then the top coat can be up to 36 microns. So you have a medium grade underneath and a coarse grade up here. So when you scour these, you want to scour them to the smallest or the finer fiber. And this is what it looks like scoured. This is so soft. You would never know it. This is so soft. And I'll show you how to separate those 2 layers by prepping a certain way, and I'll show you how to do that. So that's really, really easy. And the next primitive dual coat will be the Icelandic, which is this one is quite long. A lot of times you don't see them quite this long, but this one is absolutely beautiful. The inner downy layer is called the thell, which can be 19 to 22 microns, which is what? A fine grade fiber. The outer layer is about 27 to 30, which is a medium grade, right? So you have 2 different grades of fiber, and you should scour to the lower grade. So you're going to scour this like it were a fine grade fiber. And this is what it looks like scoured. Look at the shine on that. And it is, oh my gosh, this is so soft, so soft. So again, you'll be able to see how to separate these layers. I have a feeling this one, because they usually shear these twice a year, I have a feeling this one was let go for the full year, but I'm glad they did, because that is, it doesn't even fit in the, in the thing. That is stunning. All right, so if you haven't bought my course yet, you are going to learn everything there is about scouring, what soaps to use on certain grades, the best way to process a certain grade fiber. So it's all based on grades, and you're going to learn that in this course. If you already signed up for the course, then you can just go through the course, and when you come out the other side, you are going to be a master at scouring wool and prepping wool, and you're never going to ruin anything again. Never ruin any other wool again. I have thrown so much wool away by scouring incorrectly and prepping it incorrectly and having no idea how that happened, but now you're going to know every step along the way. So you can sign up for my class below, and thanks for watching this free video. And if you have any questions about scouring, the class is going to answer it. So please sign up below, and I'll see you in class.